this is my whole thing. It goes back to math, right? What is the point of learning long division? What is the point of learning about decimals?
Decimals are important. That's money.
It's absolutely not important.
No, it is.
Look, this isn't theory.
Decimals, that's different.
Listen.
Some things are not.
I worked in financial services for 12 years.
Okay.
Managed millions of dollars. I cannot do any level of math at all.
That doesn't mean it's not important, though.
Listen. The reason why is because I don't have to. There's a thing called a calculator.
Okay.
So instead of teaching kids these stupid, outdated ways to actually do it on a piece of paper, why don't you just teach them at 5 years old to use a calculator? Because you're going to use a calculator. Nobody in life is going to do long division on a piece of paper.
That's different. But what you're saying is decimals are important. They are important because if you let's say you worked in the financial industry, right? Let's say that you're a decimal off on some of the numbers that you put.
You're not.
That's going to be a different. That could change things, right?
Listen. The decimal is going to be done by the computer, which is the calculator. When I'm saying decimals don't matter, how to find out how to get to the decimal.
Oh yeah, that's
square root.
Yeah,
square root is
those things. That's no argument there.
About. Square root is one of the most useless calculate. Have you ever in life used square root?
Well, I'm not in the profession that I need to.
But in anything,
no, I haven't.
When have you gone to the grocery store and decided how much money you was going to spend on lettuce we're educating people on things that don't matter. And at some point, we got to have real conversations. This stuff doesn't matter. Spelling doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Well,
you have spell check. As long as you get close to the word. Look, I know people that make $50 million a year that can't spell entrepreneur. And then there's people that make $30,000 a year that want a spelling bee. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know how to spell as long as you can get close to the word. If you just get close to the word, Google's going to make it right for you.
Until it matters.
It doesn't. When will it matter?
It doesn't matter. You never know.
I know.
You never know.
I do know.
You don't.
No, I do know. No, I really do.
So there's some topics, yes. No denying that, right? Some topics you'll never use, right? Like I said, Pythagorean theorem, unless I'm an architect, I'm never going to use that, right? The quadratic equation, I had to memorize that. I'm never going to use that. I agree with that. Some things we do need to know, right? Like right now, like my daughter's doing ratios and integers. Those things, like she may need to know, right? Wait, let me finish. Can you now listen?
She won't ever.
Can you now listen?
When you say ratios and what?
Can you now listen?
I'm listening.
Right now, somebody's writing an outline to a think piece. Like this is the beginning of the end of
right.
This is the seventh argument. Go ahead.
Even like multiplication, like these things, they'll need to know. Like I'm percentages. Like she just had a test on percentages, right? Like there was decimals that were involved in that. Like for her to not understand how to do percentages, I'm like, nah, let me show you. I'm doing percentages every day, right? I'm trying to figure out, what's 20% of that? We used to teach kids in the summer. It was like, that was a prize. Like if you could figure out what 40% of this number was, who can do it the fastest? Like these things will matter in the future, right? Because if they're involved with anything with money, which pretty much everything in their future will be have money involved in it, they'll need to know that. And yes, you can have a tool like a calculator, but you should know how to do it as well.
Let me say, you don't need to know how to do that.
We gotta let Ian go.
And because I'm gonna let him go, but then because even teaching it, that was a waste of time because there's a calculator that does percentages.
And we did it on both.
And no, I'm saying there's a percentage calculator.
Yeah.
Where you just type in, 1,000, 100, what is the point of knowing how to do something manually when you can do it automated? This is what technology, if we can't talk about invest in technology and champion technology and teach kids technology if we're not going to use technology. What is the point? All of that stuff is outdated and is not beneficial at all. Learn how to use the computer. Learn how to use a calculator.
YouTube is not on your side.
Huh?
YouTube is not on your side.
It doesn't matter who's on my side.
I'm just letting you know.
I'm just telling you. Look,
in 2023, Rashad took my role and I took his.
It really
Ian, you go. What's your thoughts, my brother?
Let's go to the origin of the modern American education system and who created it. Everyone put in chat I was having this talk with 19 Keys 2 weeks ago. The purpose of the American education system was created by what iconoclast titan of industry? John D. Rockefeller. So the necessity for education at scale, which I argued, the American education system was the second most successful startup product in American history. Was to train people to be able to work for factories and in jobs, which would increase GDP, which will increase the wealth of the families, Rockefeller, Carnegie, etc. So that was the reason it's needed. I mean, and in the same way, we're going through another iteration of an American class war where tech is the introducing virus that we've been exposed to. And once again, even with ChatGPT, I put it in Stock Club. I'm like, hey, you notice how you can get all these answers, but they won't tell you how to like use ChatGPT to make an AI model that you can license and have on your own to give to the public for free, or even give you a predictive model for the stock market. We're not proving in real fucking time. You can call out tops, bottoms, highs, lows, etc. It is another mechanism of control. So I think education is important, but if we're going to go to the origin of why, it's so that we can have a working class of 200-300 million people over the lifespan of 20-30 years, pump into the American economy to then take care of the families that run the country.
Working class,
There you have
aka
it.
middle class.
Reading is important. Is important to learn how to read. It is important to know how to write, not necessarily how to spell, but write on a functional 10th grade level. You can get by with 7th grade math skills, and everything else you can learn on the fly. Don't attack me.
I tried that before, Rashad.
Don't attack me.
It don't
Please.
work.
Disclaimer:
Just being honest
the,
with you.
the thoughts shared here.
I'm just.
Once again, is this whom you picked to lead your Black financial revolution? These are the people. That comment's my favorite. I'm like, damn, it's like I feel.
And exit row seats are beneficial.
They don't recline though, bro.
If you sit in the second,
Yeah, that sucks though.
No, it's not true. If you sit in the second exit row, first exit row does not recline to the second exit row, but the second exit row reclines. Poor man's first class. I sat in exit row for years. So
Content creators, sit in the window seat so you can get your flicks off.
exit rows. If worse comes,
I'm always the window
if
seat.
worse comes to worse, get the exit row. All right.
And I will be on the record and say that this first iteration of AI, retail consumer facing AI, is not the real AI. It is a category that is going to be slightly overrated. I do think the valuation of 29 billion is fair for ChatGPT, but for all the competitors, it will pale in comparison. I cannot wait till we have true machine learning.
And common misconception. See, this is what people get reiterated what they tell you in school. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything they told you in school, 85% of what they told you in school was not true. People say, well, how can you read if you can't spell? The two do not always correlate. Trust me, you can be a very proficient reader and not be the great speller. They don't always go hand in hand. But you still believe in the Easter Bunny. This is the people that's arguing with me still believe in Easter Bunny.
Let's not attack the Easter Bunny.
But I'm just saying.
No, it's right. It's true.
Easter Bunny,
Yeah.
and you're trying to come at me. Look,
It does help.
it helps, of course,
Yeah.
but it's not a direct correlation. You can be a good reader and not be a great speller.
Yeah.
It's a fact. But I don't know. What do I know? Whatever.
If we're going to uncover some more truths,
It's like the great writer whose penmanship is terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
that's me.
Do you need to know how to write in script? Another useless thing that they taught you in school. I'm trying to get you out of this matrix, and you're fighting with me.